Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What If RuneScape, the series where we take an idea and stretch it out as far as it can possibly go. Today we're going to be talking about the Samurai, and believe it or not, we already have samurais in game, or at least the outfit. We haven't exactly found the Samurai yet, and that's what we're here to do today. In the world of old school RuneScape, the Shayzien house is a bastion of strength and honor, inspired by the rich tapestry of Japanese architecture. Within this prestigious house emerges a legendary figure, the Shayzien Samurai. This elite warrior is the pinnacle of martial prowess for the Shayzien warriors, and it'll fully tie in the deep cultural roots that you can see all throughout Shayzien. Here's a couple of pictures of that. You have the wooden windows, the pointy rooftops, and you even have this gravestone completely in Japanese, or let's say an Eastern language, the Shayzien Samurai. Is he just one person? No. It's the highest tier of warrior that you can attain in the Shayzien military. We already have ourselves tier 5 Shayzien armor, and this would be one step even farther. But that's actually just going to be the reward for our quest. And yes, of course we have to have a quest for the Samurai storyline. Before I get too deep into it and realize I overdid my intro, we're going to be talking about the Shayzien Samurai. A new cave or dungeon for old school RuneScape, a new quest, and armor set in the mid-level range. And we're even going to introduce 5 new monsters along the samurai theme. First things first, we actually have to talk about the quest, because this is how you're going to be introduced into the Shayzien Samurai lore. A retired Shayzien Samurai is going to show up in Shayzien. And yes, I'm totally aware of how many times I'm going to have to say Shayzien. And I know I'm likely saying it wrong. But he tests the player with aiding a new samurai, sent off to be the honor guard for the Valamor royalty. The new samurai is tasked with completing a series of trials designed to test the worthiness of a samurai, called the Path of the Blade. The player embarks on the journey by assisting the new samurai, facing these challenges along the way, also qualifying for the Path of the Blade. The current honor guard is eager to prove his mettle, and you have to go through the dungeon with him. Essentially, a duo raid. And you're not going to have to carry him the whole time. But it is a med-level quest, so if you're max level, of course you're carrying him. The dungeon's entrance is hidden within the landscape of Shayzien, perhaps behind a waterfall or within a secluded mountain path, marked by ancient samurai statues that guard the threshold. Once entering the dungeon, the player and the new samurai find themselves in a grand central hub, adorned with ancient symbols and artifacts that echo the samurai's legacy. This hub serves as the nexus point from which 3 pathways extend, leading to the trials of courage, wisdom, and honor. A mystical force ensures that only those who have proven themselves in these initial trials can access the challenges that lie beyond. Down the first path is the Trial of Courage. This trial takes place in an arena that simulates a battlefield engulfed in perpetual twilight. Here, participants face off against spectral entities known as Yokai Specters. Dead samurais who sought to face these trials and failed now attack you. After facing wave after wave of these specters, you'll have finally overcome the Trial of Courage. Down our next path, set within a serene garden next to a lake, the trials present a series of complex underwater puzzles and riddles, guarded by Kappa assassins. Kappa, these turtle people from Japanese lore, will attack you and try to dismantle some of the puzzle progress that you've made. Once you've completed the underwater puzzle, we go down the Trial of Honor, our next pathway leading to a primitive and rough type of competition ring where Onis are your competition. An Oni is a giant or a troll according to Japanese lore, and they are well versed in the sumo wrestling arts. The Trial of Honor is all about one-on-one combat, and if you've kept the new samurai's health up until this point, he should have no problem. After completing all 3 trials, you'll find yourself into the heart of the dungeon. The central hub reveals a staircase descending into the depths, leading to the final challenge, a simultaneous battle against Tengu warriors, bird people with hard ranged attacks, and a Niue beast. Essentially a lion with a monkey body and a snake for a tail. A new boss to take on, and this isn't simply just a pushover boss. It's a little bit like Scurious, where it has all 3 attack styles, and it's supposed to be somewhere in the mid-level range, but maybe just a little bit harder than Scurious. A lot less forgiving. It'll have a melee attack. It can claw and or bite you, but its ranged attack is far worse. A snake tail venom spit. Being able to venom you. This is a magical beast after all, so it will cycle between a few different elemental attacks, such as a bursting fire breath, a knockback wind, or even a shaking earth attack that lets stalagmites rain down above you. Upon completing the quest, you fully unlock the cave and dungeon along with our new Slayer monsters, such as Yokai Specters, Oni Brutes, Tengu Warriors, Kappa Assassins, and the Niue Beast. Also unlocking the 6th tier of Shayzien armor, the Samurai armor. But how exactly are you going to upgrade the Shayzien armor into the Shayzien Samurai armor? We have Spirit Steel. All monsters within the cave will drop Spirit Steel, but you're going to need the Samurai Smithing Scroll. One of the monsters within are going to have the Samurai Smithing Scroll, which is essentially the blueprints on how you're supposed to upgrade your gloves, boots, helmets, chest, or legs. Good thing we have 5 monsters because there's 5 scrolls. Not only that, you're going to get the Samurai Smithing Scroll of Katana Forging. This will allow you to forge katanas with Spirit Steel, but the katana isn't exactly a useful weapon, so let's take it one step further. We need the Enchanted Whetstone, a drop only from the Niue Beast, the new boss of this cave. This will be able to upgrade the katana to be combat viable for the mid-level tiers of combat. Now that is just the bare bones of the quest, but there are so many different lore integrations that we can have, or even benefits added to this cave to make it even better to grind out in. We could have a bunch of different rocks or tablets scattered all throughout the cave, and you'd be able to read these tablets and it'd give you advice on how you're supposed to fight the monster, lore of the specific room, or lore of the Shayzien Samurai altogether. And another thing that I think would be really cool to include in a cave would be the Restoration Springs. Healing springs that offer respite and recovery. Bathing in these springs not only restores a player's health and stats, but could also provide temporary buffs or resistance to venom and poison. The springs could definitely be designed to have a cooldown so people don't overuse it, but it would be really cool to have a restoration type of pool as a hot spring. And who knows, maybe it'll inspire a different type of design scheme than the Chambers of Zarek's piss pool to restore your energy. What do you guys think? We've got some new Slayer monsters, a dungeon, a new quest, and a new set of armor, all from the Shayzien Samurai. Do you think this fits in old school RuneScape? And if you happen to know what the next topic of What If RuneScape is, please leave it down below, and I will see you all later.